The era of the internet, where the world lies at our fingertips, and kindness is frequently hailed as the paramount virtue. Yet, have you ever taken a moment to contemplate the potential downsides of excessive kindness? It may sound peculiar, but stay with me, my fellow Stoics, for there's an ancient lesson we may have inadvertently overlooked in our contemporary pursuit of becoming the kindest version of ourselves. You see, the Stoics, those venerable sages from ancient Greece and Rome, had valuable insights concerning the equilibrium of virtues. Their counsel often emphasized staying resolute, yet honing in on virtue. While generosity is undoubtedly a virtue, it's akin to other good things. It can be carried to an extreme. Excessive generosity, my friends, has the potential to backfire in ways we might least anticipate. Now, before you raise an eyebrow and assume that I've ventured into the realm of the absurd, let's embark on a shared exploration. Together, we'll scrutinize 8 unanticipated manners in which an overflow of kindness could lead us astray. We'll delve deep into the teachings of Stoicism, gleaning wisdom from the likes of Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius. As we do so, I challenge you to ponder your own acts of kindness. Are they perpetually balanced, or have you, like many of us, occasionally tilted the scales? If you're new to this channel and find this journey intriguing, then do not hesitate to ring the notification bell and subscribe. I dare you. Together, we shall navigate the intricate dance of virtue, pinpointing that delicate equilibrium between too little and too much. So, my fellow wisdom seekers, accompany me as we explore the unexpected pitfalls of excessive generosity, because at times, the most profound lessons spring from the most unforeseen sources. 1. Overcommitment. We've all experienced this scenario, haven't we? You're at a friend's gathering, and someone casually mentions that they'll be moving to a new house the following weekend. Before you even realize it, your hand shoots up, and you volunteer to assist. Yet deep down, you're already inundated with your own set of tasks. The Stoics, who advocated living in harmony with nature, underscored the importance of comprehending our own limitations. Overcommitting isn't merely about spreading yourself too thin. It's about deviating from your authentic self. Imagine life as a teacup, with each commitment and pledge serving as a drop of tea. Pour in too much and it overflows, creating a mess. The Stoics would advise you to acknowledge the size of your cup. It's not about being unkind, it's about demonstrating kindness to yourself initially. I'm not suggesting that you refrain from assisting your friend with the move, but perhaps offer to help pack a few boxes instead of committing to the entire day. Often, it's the small gestures that carry the most significance, and they are far more manageable. Remember the occasion when you committed to helping at the school fair? Attending a birthday party and visiting your grandmother all in one day? By the end of it, you were likely fatigued, irritable, and not wholly present during any of the activities. That's the burden of overcommitment. Hence, the next time you're on the verge of making a commitment, pause to contemplate your own capacity. It's not an act of selfishness, rather, it is an exercise in prudence. 2. The perennial quest to be universally liked, an age-old desire that ensnares many of us. We often find ourselves uttering yes when we'd prefer to say no, politely chuckling at jokes that don't amuse us, and nodding in agreement with viewpoints we do not share. But consider this. Stoicism teaches us that we cannot govern the opinions of others. Therefore, why engage in the futile endeavor of people-pleasing? It might superficially resemble a manifestation of kindness, but more often than not, it reflects our own insecurities. Let's be honest, it's a draining ordeal. You are incessantly juggling various personas, attempting to be someone you are not. And for what? Fleeting approval. Allow me to recount a tale about a chap named Tim. A genuinely pleasant fellow, but he would contort himself into pretzels to elicit a nod of consent. On one occasion, he wore a shirt he despised because a friend had gifted it to him. Throughout the day, he felt discomforted, all for the sake of sparing his friend's feelings. However, here's the twist. His friend didn't even take notice. The Stoics championed the cause of authenticity. Be genuine, be yourself, and the right individuals will naturally gravitate toward you. As for those who do not, well, you cannot hope to please everyone, can you? 3. Believing you can alter others. There's a popular adage that asserts, you can lead a horse to water, but you cannot make it drink. Stoicism espouses a similar sentiment. We can only manage our own actions, not those of others. Nevertheless, many of us, driven by our compassionate nature, attempt to mend people. We labor under the belief that our affection, guidance, and benevolence can transform them, but more often than not, it proves to be a vain endeavor. Think of that acquaintance who perpetually becomes entangled in ill-fated romantic relationships. You've dispensed advice, lent an empathetic ear during their heartaches, and even endeavored to set them up with a splendid match. Yet they continue to ensnare themselves in the same repetitive patterns. It can be incredibly vexing, can it not? However, bear in mind that every individual is on their own unique journey. While it is commendable to proffer assistance, we cannot tread their path on their behalf. The Stoics advocated concentrating on our own actions and relinquishing the compulsion to govern all other facets of existence. This can be an arduous task, especially when your affection for someone runs deep. Yet at times, the most compassionate act you can perform is to step back and allow individuals to chart their course, even if it leads to blunders. 4. Allowing others to exploit your kindness. Kindness is undeniably a beautiful quality, but like all good things, an excess of it can prove detrimental. When we are ceaselessly kind, perpetually available, and unceasingly agreeable, individuals may inadvertently begin to take it for granted. It is not necessarily a matter of deliberate intent, but it is a common occurrence. Allow me to recount an example. Lucy, a colleague in the office, had a habit of bringing in homemade treats. Initially, everyone was appreciative. However, as time passed, it transformed into an expectation. So, on the rare occasion when she didn't bring anything, there were murmurs of discontent. Poor Lucy found herself feeling unacknowledged and wounded. The Stoics imparted teachings regarding the transitory nature of things. Just as we are advised not to become excessively attached to external rewards, we should also refrain from becoming overly accustomed to the constant stream of kindness from others. Conversely, if we frequently position ourselves as the givers, it is imperative to ascertain that we are not being taken for granted. It's truly about striking a balance. Be kind, but also establish boundaries. Make it known that while your kindness is a gift, it should not be viewed as an obligation. 5. Neglecting self-care. In our zealous pursuit of being kind to others, we often tend to overlook our own needs. We place the concerns of others above our own, deeming it to be a noble endeavor. However, Stoicism provides us with a poignant reminder regarding the significance of self-care. If we disregard our own well-being, how can we be of any assistance to others? Picture this. You're akin to a vehicle. If you neglect to refuel, how will you transport others? Ultimately, you will be left stranded on the side of the road. The same analogy applies to perpetually prioritizing others. It invariably leads to burnout. I can recollect a friend, Alex, who consistently made himself available to everyone, consistently placing himself at the end of the line. Until one fateful day, he reached his breaking point. He was utterly fatigued, drained, and felt undervalued. It was far from a pretty sight. Therefore, remember to allocate time for yourself. This is not an act of selfishness. Rather, it is an essential practice. The Stoics were cognizant of the significance of introspection and self-care, recognizing that a soul well-maintained is better equipped to confront the challenges of the world. The fact that you've continued watching this video to this point underscores your commitment to self-improvement. Stay with me for the final 3 insights. They are even more pivotal. I'll see you at the conclusion. 6. Avoiding conflicts at all costs. The universal aversion to conflict is quite understandable. It tends to be uncomfortable, awkward, and essentially unpleasant. In our endeavor to exude kindness, we frequently resort to evading conflict. We let matters slide, refrain from expressing our viewpoints, and suppress our sentiments. Stoicism, however, imparts the lesson that on certain occasions, conflict is in fact imperative. Steering clear of conflict may seem considerate in the short term, but it has the potential to spawn more substantial issues in the future. Ineffectual management of minor irritations can fester into profound resentments, while unvoiced sentiments may lead to misinterpretations. Think back to the instance when your flatmate persistently left dirty dishes lying around. Instead of addressing the issue directly, you took it upon yourself to clean up after them, believing it to be the kind thing to do. Over time, however, your irritation escalated and eventually culminated in an outburst over something seemingly trivial. The Stoics advocated confronting challenges head-on. This doesn't imply actively seeking out altercations, but rather it underscores the importance of addressing matters before they transmute into substantial predicaments. It is, in the grand scheme of things, a kinder approach, both to yourself and to others. 7. Overextending generosity. Generosity is unequivocally virtuous. However, like all virtues, it can be pursued to an extreme. In our pursuit of kindness, we sometimes bestow more than we can reasonably afford, whether it's in terms of time, finances, or resources. Although the intent behind this inclination is noble, the resulting ramifications can be adverse. Consider this perspective. If you persistently deplete your bank account in order to assist others, you will eventually find yourself financially insolvent. And in such a state, how can you be of any aid to anyone else? The Stoics endorsed a philosophy of moderation, advocating the attainment of equilibrium between giving and retaining. I once knew an individual, Sarah, who habitually loaned money to her friends. Her motive was to extend help, and it certainly felt gratifying. However, as time passed, she encountered financial struggles, and when she sought assistance, those she had previously supported were nowhere to be found. It's a poignant lesson, albeit an invaluable one. The message is clear. Be generous, but also be judicious. Ensure your own necessities are met before you extend help to others. This is not an endorsement of stinginess, rather, it underscores the importance of sustainability. 8. Needing others' approval. The advent of the digital age has wrought significant changes in how we perceive and manifest kindness. While many individuals share their benevolent actions online, it's imperative to scrutinize our underlying motivations. Are our deeds rooted in genuine compassion, or are we seeking external validation? Marcus Aurelius once wisely imparted the counsel, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." This ageless wisdom underscores the notion that genuine virtue resides in our actions, rather than the accolades they garner. While sharing our deeds can serve as a source of inspiration for others, it is of paramount importance to ensure the preservation of our actions' intrinsic purity. When kindness evolves into a transaction, its authenticity gradually diminishes. The Stoics, in their teachings, advocated a paradigm shift away from the pursuit of external validation, instead emphasizing the intrinsic value of our deeds. By committing acts of benevolence for their own sake, we align ourselves with the genuine essence of virtue. There we have it, the meandering path of kindness replete with its unexpected twists and turns. Who would have surmised that, in our world characterized by the allure of likes, shares, and ceaseless scrolling, we might overlook the time-honored wisdom of the Stoics? However, as we have discerned, their teachings retain their relevance in contemporary times, much as they did centuries ago. Now, my fellow Stoics, at this juncture where reflection and action intersect, I extend to you the invitation to share your reflections in the comments below. Have you ever found yourself ensnared by excessive kindness? Your narratives are the luminous beacons that illuminate this Stoic community, guiding and motivating fellow wayfarers on the journey of life.